Here is the beast. So you probably have a machine laying around that you want to get a little bit more use out of, but you aren't sure where to start. Well, you've probably heard of Linux. Now what I want to do today is install Linux on this old laptop that's been sitting in the closet for probably a decade now. But if this thing can run snappy with Linux, I'm telling you any machine can. Okay, so the materials that you'll need. You'll need your main Windows PC to start out with. And then of course, the machine you're going to be installing Linux on. And then you're just gonna need a flash drive, probably at least 10 gigs. We're gonna be installing the Linux image on this from our main PC, plugging it into our laptop, and then doing the install process. All right, so we're at our main Windows PC. I've got my flash drive, I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in. All right, so now that we have our flash drive connected, we need to download Linux. And you don't just go to linux.com and download Linux. There are a bunch of different distributions, meaning different styles of Linux that you can install. And the most user-friendly and the most desktop-friendly environment is called Ubuntu, or Ubuntu, people pronounce it different ways. And we're gonna get that from ubuntu.com. We want the desktop application. 20.04.4 is the latest build, latest stable build. There's probably some beta builds out there that you can test out, but downloading the most stable build is ideal. So let's start that download process. You can donate to Ubuntu if you want. That's up to you. All right, so the next program that we're going to download is called Rufus. Rufus is an imaging program that basically is going to make your flash drive bootable. And all that really means is it's going to make your new Linux machine be able to boot from that flash drive and install Linux from that flash drive. That's all it really means. So let's download Rufus. So Rufus, create bootable USB drives the easy way. That's what we want. This is what the application looks like. Let's go find the download, get our nice ad, and we can download our file. All right, so we've got Rufus installed and we've got Linux downloaded. So let's go ahead and get Linux installed onto the flash drive and make it bootable. So as we can see, Rufus already has our USB drive detected. Now we need to find the ISO image that Linux downloaded as. So select, we're going to search our downloads, Ubuntu 20.04. All right, so we've got our USB drive. We've got Ubuntu found in our downloads folder and selected. Now we just start. We're just going to do write in ISO mode, click yes here, and the image process is starting. Now we just pretty much wait. This is just telling us all the files on that drive are going to be destroyed. So just make sure that whatever is on the drive is disposable and you've backed it up on another machine. All right, so our image is done installing. Our flash drive is ready. I can go ahead and pop it out and plug it into our laptop and get it imaged to Linux. So I'm not really going to be using this as a desktop unit or a laptop for that matter. I'm probably going to have another project planned for it. I want to take the board out, so the CPU, RAM, and motherboard, install it into another case, salvage the screen also, and turn that into like a portable arcade unit or a tabletop arcade unit. I don't know if it's going to work. It's kind of a far-fetched idea, but if it sounds cool to you, follow along. I think I can pull it off. I'm not super crazy with fabricating or anything like that. I don't have much experience with it, but I think I could pull this off and get some use out of it, because it's way better than just sitting in a closet or becoming a desktop machine or a laptop that you're just not going to use. I mean, you have a laptop that you're using already, or you have a desktop that you're using already. This old unit just isn't really going to serve that same purpose if you already have something that, you know, makes it obsolete. So I want to take projects that's going to kind of upcycle it and turn it into something else that's actually useful or fun. All right, so we've got our machine that we're going to be putting Linux on. We've got our flash drive with our Linux image on it, and let's go ahead and insert it. You're going to want to find the key for your computer to get to its boot menu. So usually it's one of the F keys, F12, I think F2 is another popular one. But if you don't know it, just smashing all the F keys on your keyboard as it boots up will generally get you to the boot menu. If not, it'll get you to your BIOS, which you can see and find the boot menu from there. So I know the boot menu button for this one, which is F12. So I'm going to power it up. Oh, I'm going to plug it in. And we power up. And we smash F12, boot options. We're going to boot from our flash drive, USB storage device. This step will probably take a while. It's going to go through all the disk checks, and then we'll get our nice Ubuntu setup wizard. All right, and we have our nice Ubuntu Cougar. So next we should get prompted by if we want to run Ubuntu and try it from the flash drive, which won't wipe everything on your drive, or we can go from the flash drive and just wipe our hard drive and install Ubuntu permanently on the machine, which is what we want to do. All right, so we're going to do install Ubuntu. We're going to set our language, continue. We're going to skip the Wi-Fi setup for now. We're going to go with the normal installation, so we get all the things that come with Linux. I would recommend doing this. I mean, all the things that come with Ubuntu. I say Ubuntu and Linux interchangeably, but this flavor of Linux, which is called Ubuntu, has lots of cool like built-in software that it comes with. It's not like Windows where it's going to be stuff that you'll never use, but it'll come with like Office software where you can open up Word documents, a couple of games, probably like chess and other games like that, and then some media players so you can play videos right out of the box. You don't have to worry about installing stuff like that. Or you can go with the minimal installation if you're just using basic stuff like web browsers, but we're going to go with the normal installation so I can show you guys what comes with that. Alright, we're going to erase disk and install Ubuntu. So this is your last chance to make sure that any files that are on this unit are off of it and onto another device, because it will wipe everything on that internal hard drive. Time zone. Alright, so let's go. We're going to use my first name. I like that. We'll give it a password just because every machine should have a password. Alright, so we've got our password in. If you do not use a password, I am liable to believe you are not a good human being. Alright, so the initial update is done. So we're going to restart. And while we're simultaneously restarting, we're going to pull our flash drive out so it doesn't try to boot from it again. We're going to pull our flash drive. And it looks like we are booting Ubuntu. Finally, this hard drive is so slow. Oh my god, it actually finished booting. Holy crap, that took a long time. Alright, so we're going to log in with our profile we created. And we have our Ubuntu desktop. As you can see, this kind of looks familiar, although our taskbar is over to the left, but that can be changed really easily. We can go to our display settings. We go to appearance. I'm going to go with a dark theme. And we can change our dock, which is our taskbar, from the left to the bottom. Oop, from the left to the bottom, which will give more of that Linux, or which will give more of that Windows look on Linux. Make things a little bit smaller. Give it a little bit more of that Windows look. And as you can see, we'll show our applications. We have our web browser, which is Firefox. We've got a camera app. We've got a couple of games on here. We've got a backup application. These are all of our Office applications that you can use to open Microsoft Office programs and edit those. You've got photo viewing apps. You've got the Ubuntu App Store. You've got a video player. You've got your software updating, so updating your operating system. You can do that with just a couple of clicks. You don't have to get into command prompt. But that's pretty much it. Peace.